I am 28 years old, working in a good position in a small metropolitan firm. I am married and do not deny myself or my loved ones many things. There was an Asian American girl at work. She worked for us as a cleaner and came in every day, both in the morning for a couple hours and in the evening. I used to look at her a lot. She was a very nice girl, short, trim, and pretty. The only downside was that she didn't speak English very well. Every time I noticed that she looked sad, I couldn't understand why and didn't dare to ask. She would clean my office in the morning, then other rooms, and come back in the evening. One day, I came to work early, not in the best of moods. I walked in and started working when she knocked and asked if I could clean without disturbing me. I, of course, said it was fine and she could take her time. She went in and got to work. As I watched her, I realized that I liked her in every way and needed to make a move. I asked, "We work at the same place, but we don't even know each other. Can you at least tell me your name?" She smiled sweetly and replied, "My name is Emily." "What's yours?" "I'm Mike," I reply. "How old are you?" She quietly replied, 24. I was very surprised because I would have assumed she was about 18. I wondered even more why she was working as a janitor. It occurred to me to ask her out, and I suggested we have lunch together. Emily agreed. When she finished cleaning, I told her I would wait by the exit. She came out, and we went to a nearby restaurant. She was mostly silent during lunch, and I had to pull information out of her. I learned that she is married, but her husband doesn't work, drinks a lot, and beats her a lot. She came here to earn money, and her husband, seeing that she could earn money, took advantage of her. We sat down, and after listening to her story, I suggested we go to the movies. Of course, this surprised her, and she said she had to go home since her husband knew her schedule. I offered to tell him that there was extra cleaning and she was working overtime. She agreed, and we went to see a movie. While we were watching, I started touching her hand. At first, she pulled away, but then she allowed it. I hugged her gently. She asked, "Mike, what are you doing?" "I'm just enjoying you, Emily." "Enjoying the moment we're together." She smiled and stopped struggling. I smoothly put my arms around her and kissed her. Then I suggested we go to a hotel. She hesitated at first, saying it wasn't right. But I insisted, took her hand, and led her to my car. When we got in the car, I said, "You won't regret it." She looked at me silently and smiled. We arrived at the hotel. I got a room, and she followed me. As soon as we entered the room, I gently hugged her and whispered, "Don't be afraid. I won't hurt you." She kissed me. After that, I said to her, "I think I've fallen in love with you." "Where did you come from, Emily?" She replied, "I don't know what came over me, but I've been watching you for a long time. You've always stood out among all the workers." I was pleased to hear that. I offered to stay at the hotel and order food, but she declined, saying, "You know I can't, but I'd really like to." I didn't press her, realizing the situation, and she left. The next morning, I bought her a bouquet and a teddy bear at a nearby flower store. When I arrived at the office, I placed them on her desk and waited for her to come in. She walked in, greeted me formally, and went about her business as if we didn't know each other. I was confused as to why she was acting like nothing had happened. I approached her and said, "We're going to a restaurant in an hour." These flowers and the bear are for you." She was about to say something, but I interrupted her. "Don't even think of refusing. You're all mine now.